highly aroused.
All right, that's enough.
You know, some movies just happen to you. You're not really planning on them. You're not anticipating a cinematic revelation. You're just looking for something that doesn't require a 12-point think piece afterwards. And that's what M3GAN 2 for me was. My buddy Josh and I caught a early screening on a dad's night out, which in and of itself is a rare event these days. And after it ended, Josh said, "That was fun. Nice to turn off my brain for a bit." And honestly, that's it. That's the vibe. And if you saw the first M3GAN, you probably remember it had a very self-aware campy quality. It didn't take itself too seriously, which kind of made it work. A killer doll, AI gone wrong, a little dancing, some eye-rolling one-liners, and somehow it hit the weird sweet spot. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it knew what it was. And I meant to watch the first one before catching the sequel, but I didn't. Not because I forgot, it crossed my mind, but the urge to revisit never really fully landed. And maybe that says something. If a movie really sticks with you, you go back, you make time, you quote it, you replay your favorite parts. But for me, M3GAN was a good one and done. So walking into 2, my expectations were, well, let's say politely, low. I figured we'd get a sequel bet on whatever box office goodwill the first one had. A few more kills, maybe a bigger budget, more AI talk, and of course, more M3GAN attitude. And that's what it was, but weirdly, it wasn't terrible. In fact, I had a pretty good time. Now, let's be clear. This is not a horror movie. Anyone going in expecting The Conjuring or even the tension of something like Black Phone is going to leave confused. This one leans way into the sci-fi action territory. Think Runaway with Tom Selleck. Remember that one? Giant spider robots, corporate espionage, that kind of energy. Or iRobot. M3GAN 2 has that techno-fear vibe, but with a modern polish and PG-13 restraints. And yes, that PG-13 rating probably held back in terms of gore and image. Would a R rating have made it better? Probably, but would it have made it more money? Probably not. The studio knows kids are watching this. They know the memes. They know the TikTok dances. They know M3GAN has become more of a pop culture figure than a horror villain. And this movie plays into that. What surprised me was how much M3GAN herself carries the film. She's still sarcastic, hyper-competent AI with a creepy gaze and even creepier sense of timing. She's the one making the whole thing click, even when the plot itself is treading water. Honestly, the story's kind of whatever. It's like, hey, AI is scary and corporate people are greedy, which, we've been there before. Yeah, we've seen this all before, from Terminator to Chopping Mall. This ground is well worn, but M3GAN brings the snark. She's tongue-in-cheek kind of aware. She's in a movie, and that meta vibe gives the whole thing a pulse. If you strip her out of this, you've got a pretty forgettable script. But with her, suddenly you're watching something oddly entertaining. And that said, the movie tries to say something about AI, responsibility, fear, ethics, blah, blah, blah. And sure, those conversations are happening everywhere right now, so I get the temptation to include it. But here it comes off a little heavy-handed, like someone in the writer's room said, "We need stakes," and someone else said, "Cool, let's make it a metaphor," and then just ran with it. For a movie where the robot wears a matching outfit and throws shade, I'm not really craving a TED Talk about humanity's downfall. Still, despite all of that, I walked out smiling, not because it blew me away, not because I saw the next horror classic or sci-fi action classic, but because it was light, funny, and honestly, maybe that's exactly what I needed. Lately, I've been watching a lot of heavy stuff, big themes, big emotions, big consequences. You know the type. So watching something that didn't weigh me down, that let me laugh a bit and let me just be in the moment, that felt like a gift. Would I recommend it? It depends on who's asking. If you hated the first one, this won't change your mind. If you're looking for actual horror, keep walking. But if you want something a little absurd, a little clever, and totally okay with being ridiculous, you might enjoy this. But let's be real, the demographic for this film is teens and young adults. So yeah, M3GAN 2 is not a masterpiece. It's not a total disaster. It's just a fun time, a brain off, popcorn up, neon lit night out at the movies. And honestly, that's enough sometimes. What do you think? Were you annoyed? Surprised? Do you want another sequel? I appreciate you going on this film journey with me. And as always, be real.
I'm sure you had no intention of murdering people. Right? Right?
M3GAN.